The collapse of the Roman Empire is one of the pivotal moments in world history, marking the end of an era that lasted for nearly a millennium. It represented the dissolution of an entity that had shaped the political, social, and economic landscape of Europe and parts of Asia and Africa. The reasons behind its fall are as diverse as they are intricate, stemming from both internal decay and external pressures. In this video, we'll delve into the last years of the empire, the immediate circumstances of its collapse, and the wide-reaching impacts that it had on the subsequent history of the European continent. And as always, we are waiting for your likes and comments below. And of course, don't forget to share this video with your friends. So, ensure you subscribe and make yourself comfortable, because now we're going back into the last days of the greatest empire. By the 5th century, the Roman Empire was not the monolithic power it once was during the Pax Romana. Divided into the Eastern and Western empires, it was the western portion with Rome as its capital that faced the more immediate threats. The last Roman emperor of the West was Romulus Augustulus, whose rule was more symbolic than practical. Many of the traditional territories of Rome had already been lost or were under the control of Germanic tribes. The empire was plagued by political instability, with frequent changes in leadership, military mutinies, and civil wars. Economically, it was stretched thin, with declining trade, devaluation of its currency, and heavy taxation. Moreover, cultural and social changes meant that this late empire was distinct from the Rome of Julius Caesar or Augustus. Forewarnings of its impending doom could be seen in the frequency with which different tribes such as the Visigoths, Vandals, and Huns were able to breach Roman defenses and even sack Rome itself in 410 under the Visigothic king Alaric. The decline and ultimate fall of the Western Roman Empire was not an overnight occurrence, but a protracted process that took place over several centuries. To comprehend the enormity and complexity of this monumental event, it's essential to delve deeper into the reasons that contributed to the empire's demise. Political instability. Rome's later years were marked by a dizzying turnover of emperors. Between 235 and 285 during the crisis of the 3rd century, nearly 20 claimants held the throne, many of whom met violent ends. This instability undermined the effectiveness of the Roman governance system and weakened the central authority, making it difficult to address the empire's myriad challenges. Economic decline. The vastness of the Roman economy was once its strength, but by the later stages it had become a liability. The empire struggled with over-reliance on slave labor, leading to decreased productivity. The debasement of the currency led to rampant inflation, eroding the purchasing power of its citizens. High taxes intended to support the vast military apparatus led to resentment and economic hardship. Military challenges. The vast borders of the empire required a massive standing army. Over time, to meet its needs, Rome increasingly relied on mercenaries and non-Roman soldiers for defense. While this provided immediate manpower, it also meant the legions were less loyal to Rome and more to their commanders or their own tribes. Coupled with this, the persistent threat of Persia in the east drained resources. Societal and cultural changes. The Rome of the 5th century was markedly different from the Rome of the 1st century. The rise of Christianity in particular brought about profound cultural shifts. While Christianity helped in providing a unifying force, it also led to internal conflicts, especially during its early establishment as state religion. Additionally, the decline in civic virtues and the distancing of the elite from the common people weakened the societal cohesion that had once been Rome's hallmark. External pressures. No longer the uncontested power, Rome faced threats on multiple fronts. The Huns under leaders like Attila terrorized both the Eastern and Western Empire. Germanic tribes, displaced in part due to the Hunnic migrations, sought refuge within the empire's borders. Over time, these tribes not only sought asylum but also autonomy and power, leading to confrontations and eventually establishing their own kingdoms within Roman territories. The event of 476 is often highlighted as the definitive end of the Western Roman Empire, signaling the close of an era that had seen Rome rise from a small city-state to a colossal empire spanning the Mediterranean. Over centuries, Rome had been the beacon of civilization, law, and military prowess. However, by the time Odoacer came into the picture, the empire was a shadow of its former self. beleaguered by internal strife and external invasions. Odoacer's overthrow of Romulus Augustulus wasn't just a simple power grab, it symbolized a transition. His choice not to assume the title of emperor was telling. This decision marked a recognition that the old ways of the empire with its vast bureaucracies and intricate systems of governance were no longer viable or relevant in the changing political landscape. Instead, by declaring himself the ruler of Italy, Odoacer was establishing a new political order, more localized and tailored to the specific needs and challenges of the region. Yet, even as Odoacer established his rule, his decision to pay nominal allegiance to the Eastern Roman Empire reflected the continued reverence and respect for the idea of Rome. It highlighted that while the political structures had shifted, the legacy and symbolism of Rome continued to command attention and respect in the ancient world. While 476 marked by the ousting of Romulus Augustulus is traditionally considered the end of the Western Roman Empire, it's worth noting that this is a date chosen for its symbolic value. The reality is that by this time much of the empire's territories were already lost or governed in name only. The Eastern Roman Empire, later known as the Byzantine Empire, would continue to flourish for another 1,000 years, showcasing the adaptability and resilience of Roman governance and culture in a changing world. The fall of the Roman Empire, given its vast expanse and the myriad challenges it faced, seemed to many historians as an inevitable consequence of its own success. While there were certainly opportunities for reforms and changes that might have prolonged its dominance, the sheer scale of internal and external pressures made its decline likely. In its final years, even with effective leadership and reform, averting the fall entirely would have been a Herculean task. Thus, while the exact timing and nature of its collapse might have varied, the eventual decline of the Roman Empire in the grand tapestry of history appears to have been an expected outcome. The decline and collapse of the Western Roman Empire ushered in a significant shift in the trajectory of European history. The immediate aftermath of the empire's collapse saw a power vacuum in the Western Mediterranean. This void led to what many historians term the Dark Ages in Europe, a period characterized by decreased urbanization, cultural and economic regression, and the rise of various kingdoms and tribes that tried to fill the vacuum left by Rome. Within the former territories of the Western Roman Empire, the loss of a centralized authority led to decentralization and the rise of feudalism. Local lords and chieftains became the main centers of power, leading to a system characterized by manors, serfs, and localized control. The grand trade networks of the Roman era fragmented. Without the unifying force of the Roman administration, trade became riskier and more localized, causing a decrease in urbanization. Many Roman cities shrank in size, and some were abandoned altogether. While the tribes that came to power brought their own rich traditions and systems, the literacy rate dropped, especially outside of monastic communities. Latin, which was the common language of the empire, began to evolve into the various Romance languages. While the Western Roman Empire crumbled, the Byzantine Empire continued to thrive and evolve. Centered around its capital Constantinople, it preserved many aspects of Roman governance, law, and military organization. The Byzantine Empire became a significant center of Christian theology, art, and architecture. The Orthodox Christian tradition had a profound influence on its culture and politics. Furthermore, Byzantine scholars preserved and copied many ancient texts, becoming the custodians of classical knowledge, which would later play a pivotal role during the Renaissance. Globally, reactions to the collapse of the Western Roman Empire varied. In the East, especially among powers like the Persian Sassanid Empire, the fall was seen as the decline of a long-standing rival. This shift presented opportunities for expansion and influence. For regions previously under Roman dominion, there was often a mix of relief due to the end of Roman taxation and conscription, and anxiety because of the looming uncertainty of the future. The fall of the Roman Empire is a testament to the idea that no matter how powerful or extensive, all empires have their vulnerabilities. The reasons for Rome's collapse are numerous and interwoven, reflecting both internal decay and external pressures. In its wake, the world saw a transformation that set the stage for the medieval period and eventually the modern era. Its legacy, however, endures in the languages, legal systems, and architectural marvels of today's Europe, serving as a poignant reminder of the might splendor, and fragility of human civilization. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and leave your like. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.